Scanning for audio.
Welcome to a Tin Dog Podcast. I'm going to talk to you now about The Last Day Part 2. The Last Day is a monumental story that takes place just before the TV movie. It's the end of the Seventh Doctor's time. And that's what this is. Now, there is a similar sort of thing for the Sixth Doctor, and that is an out-and-out classic. It sews up all of the storylines, all of the loose threads. It brings together some stuff we've never seen before, and it's brilliant. This is an attempt to do something similar. Now, not a huge amount of people were overly impressed with the first one. I know that usually I am beyond enthusiastic about Bigfinish and about their whole ranges. And you know what? I'm sat here thinking, why isn't this brilliant? Because, right, everyone on it I love. I've even come to adore Bonnie Langford's Mel when she's with the Seventh Doctor. I like Benny, I like Ace. There are characters here we've not seen very much of. We've got Chris Quidge, we've got people who were in the books, we've got everything brought together. We have alternative timelines. We've got Hex, we've got Hex's kids. Oh my God. And we've got aliens and monsters aplenty. We've got the guy from Iceworld. Is it too much? We all know that the villain of this story is a parallel Seventh Doctor who finally just played one game too many. We've got the crusty version of the Master. Again, absolutely brilliant. There are superb moments, quotable lines, and things aplenty going on. But you know what? Perhaps it is less than the sum of its parts, and I feel awful saying that because I cannot work out where it went wrong. It's just not going to be my favourite story, and God, I wanted it to be because I love everyone in this. I love the Seventh Doctor's time. I was a fan at the time, and with the exception of the Candyman, I would forgive it anything. God, I'm such an ordinary entitled fan. But this story just isn't for me. I'm glad I've heard it. I'm glad I've experienced it, and I'm glad I know what happens just before the TV movie, because that's where this fits. The idea you could fit something behind this and go straight in to the TV movie in between, I don't know. No, this is it. It goes here, TV movie, bosh, rest of that run, end of the Seventh Doctor's time. And it works. It genuinely does work, because no one could be the villain against the Seventh Doctor as much as himself. It is Ace saving the day. It is everything that we'd want it to be, and yet it still didn't grip me. Perhaps I'm just making the mistake of comparing it to something else. I'm comparing apples and oranges, and yes, they're both fruit, they're both Doctor Who stories. But perhaps the Sixth Doctor's version of this story, The Last Day, his last day, is just more beloved of me. It's still a monumental achievement to be able to sew up such a massive storyline. But then when big chunks of what's going on is Bonnie Langford stuck in a hole while they're being insulted by Ogrons, I don't know. And I feel awful. I genuinely feel bad saying that this story just isn't for me. But I've had a look, and some of the other reviews on the internet are like, well, that's a story that happened. So I'm not going to hold anyone responsible, because Matt Fitton and Guy Adams did a gorgeous job, and I cannot work out what isn't for me. Because that's the worst thing you can ever say about Doctor Who. This story just isn't for me. It's for someone else. Someone else will love it. It'll be their favourite of all time. That's definitely true of TV Doctor Who, so it can be true of Bigfinish. I've loved all of their work, everywhere else. Just this one, not for me. But you know what? You might love it. So here's the trailer and decide for yourself. So until next time, be seeing you.
Once upon a time...
From Bigfinish Productions, Doctor Who, The Seventh Doctor Adventures, The Last Day, 2.
It's hard to carry on sometimes.
In happier times and places, there was a very clever fool who found himself boxed into a corner.
My friends are out there, hurting.
I actually have no idea how I'm supposed to get out of here.
I want to see my daughter!
Cease your disturbance, human.
Dad!
You don't have to choose, love. You never have to choose.
We were gambling our lives on him!
We're from a long way in your future.
What Roz means to say is we're from the right future.
Now what?
And now it all comes to an end. I saw the deaths of whole worlds, but nothing broke my heart more than losing my very best friend.
He had planned and plotted. He had danced around the whole universe.
Oh, I'm not sure I can bear to look at this world.
This is who we came here for. This man is the point of the mission.
They're coming for you. All your old friends, they're coming to stop you.
I've manipulated, I've schemed, I've plotted. I've decided who needs to live or die. But the worst monsters are always to be found in a mirror.
Soon you will free us.
There's loads of them! Move! Fire on Gallifrey.
Those who would destroy our beautiful universe must be stopped.
Storm the capital!
Yes? I'm the Doctor. I'm coming for you!
Bigfinish, for the love of stories.
And I will win.
That was the Tin Dog Podcast. Available on Spotify, iTunes, Acast, Stitcher and wherever good podcasts are found. Get early access to content by subscribing to the Tin Dog Podcast YouTube channel. You can support the show at patreon.com/tindog. Contact the show on Twitter at Tin Dog Podcast or email tin-dog@hotmail.co.uk. All of the things discussed are the intellectual property of others. No infringement is intended. The Tin Dog Podcast is a founder member of the Doctor Who Podcast Alliance.